Welcome once again to Culinary Thing. What we have here is a blender, and this is a Faberware blender as it is. And you can see in here it's got an off-on switch, it's got a drink cup, it's got a pulse, and it's got a low, a medium, and a high setting there. In this particular blender, it has an auto cycle. If you put on low or medium or drink cup, or if you put it on high, it'll run for a specific amount of time through its cycle, and then it'll stop its cycle, and it runs at different velocities through its cycle. And as it is, then it stirs that food and lets it settle to the bottom, and at slower speed, and then it speeds up and slows down, and that's how it blends. And what this is here, this is the drink cup, and that's what the top on. It's a travel cup from the counter to table service. And in that condition, then what I have here is something that goes along together that, and that's the blade for this. And also, I think it's this particular condition here that goes on this also, and then this also goes on here, and then it goes upside down onto the blender, and then it can be blended in that way. And I'll show you how that works in putting that together. Then over here is the 6-cup jar, and this works much the same way. This has its attachment for the blade and the other things also, and then it's placed right side up there on the blender, and there's the top there too that goes to. Let me get this tortilla chip off the counter there. This here is a bag in tortillas. It's Tostitos, and it's Cantino traditional, and that's said to be a restaurant kind of a style tortilla chip that I use the blender, by the way, to make some salsa for about once a week or so. Let's see if we can't get this drink cup put together, and then we'll show the 6-cup jar also. So as I'm off the conditioner, I'm just putting this together. So now the top is off of that, and this other portion is there. And then what happens is this blade, then it gets put on in here like that, and then this gets put on upside down here. And let me get that on. I'll show how this goes. So now that's on there, and what this is, and then this goes upside down, and these portions here that are kind of fins on that, they set into this blender portion. You can see those slots that occur, and when that goes on in there, then that's how the drink cup condition goes. We look at these other things. There's the top for the drink cup, and then here's the 6-cup jar, and there's the top for that. And so you just put a cup of water in there with some whatever you want to blend up in there, and that drink cup works in that way. So I'm going to take this apart, and I'll put the other together. So here's the 6-cup jar. It's upside down now, and what I can do then is I can get the cutting blade, and I can just put that on in here. Hopefully it fits. There it goes. And then this portion gets put on here, and then we set this the other way, and then it'll be set on the blender the same way. So here it is. We'll just set this on the blender the same way, and there it is. And then we can put our top on here, and it does take some sort of a new top as it is, and we can get this put on here. And there it is. And so that's the 6-cup jar on the blender, and that's how that works. And that's plain enough blender for service for one, and even service 1 factor 6 for a couple of days in food and blending and things like that. And that's pretty much all that there is to that. You want to make sure that you have at least some water or at least some juice in that blender when you're blending some food. And the other condition this blender, the attribute that it has, is got an automatic motor shut off. If there's not enough liquid in the blender and the motor starts feeling too much load, then it has an automatic shut off to protect the motor. And so that's this time in Culinary Thing.